saw the angels. Let me out! Standing around. Let me out! Let me out! Slowly gray. Let me
You guys have no idea what a great weekend we have ahead of us.
Cheers!
This place is perfect.
We came here for a show, man.
No light to mirror.
So before this weekend's over, it better be fireworks. You understand me?
No detail to mirror.
You like it?
It's playing backwards.
I'll meditate him.
Fuck are you talking about?
I'll meditate him.
Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
I think it's over.
I saw the angels standing around, slowly gray.
The energy back was like, oh man, Dion, I was told so many people, oh man, this the Golden Globes, this the Oscars, this the football. I said, man, I ain't worried about none of that shit. These people coming here tonight, come in because they want to have their energy pumped up. They want to be around people that can motivate them. They want to understand how we do it. We want to talk, have real life conversations because that's how I feel myself. And I didn't mean to take over the thing because I called Van. Van was in another country, so I was like, Van, you got to come to this shit. Van's like, what is it? I'm like, just come. But I wanted to say this because there's some special people, man, that really made a trip down here. Dennis Quaid. Man, come here, D. Come here, D. I'm telling y'all, man, this legendary in the building, man. He hates when I do this, by the way. I love this dude, man. And
Please don't call me legend. My humble life's not through.
but I want to say something, man, I'm not going to keep you up for a minute, but I want to say this because you mean so much to me. Years ago, when I was making a movie called The Intruder, it was, I had the opportunity of working with a lot of really, really cool actors and actresses. But on my resume at the time, I had not had the opportunity of working with somebody of this magnitude. And I want to be real with you guys. Hollywood is a very fickle place where, who you got in the movie? Who'd you get? You know what I mean? You're like, man, well, I want to make my own stars. I don't need to go get people that has been doing it if I don't want them. But at the time, I wanted Dennis Quaid. And I wrote this man a letter, followed up by a phone call, and within 14 minutes, because I remember looking at the clock like, damn, he's still on the phone. Within 14 minutes, he said, stop talking about the movie, I'm doing it.
It was the phone call.
He was like, where do I need to be? And I just want to share that with you guys out there, everybody that might be on live streaming or whatever. I want to share with you guys, man, that believe in yourself. Don't allow people to put parameters and boxes around you and tell you what you can and cannot do and who you cannot speak to and you got to call this person to get to that. Man, just go to these people and tell them how you feel. And you'll be surprised how many people actually feel the same way. So tonight I want to tell you, I thank you, man. I love you. And not to mention, man, we made the biggest movie that year. We had the #2 biggest film of the year, me and you together. Roxanne put that thing together for $2 million. And one time for The Intruder, man. And Joe Secor, wherever he's at. Anyways, I love you, brother. Thank you, man. Love you too. Thank you for being here. All right, I'm finna shut up. So, Scottie's here. I think Floyd's pulling up. We got the legend of it. Where's Master P at? Make him say, where P at, man? P, where you at, man? He be hiding and stuff. He really don't like when I do this. P, is he up? Is he back there? Where's he at? There you go. P, come up here for a minute, man. P, come on up here, man. I done took over the show now. It's over. Yeah, come on, P. Come on, P. I just look. I want to take 1 minute because this is motivation for decades. And I'll make sure every time I see folks, man, that have moved me, changed my life, allowed me to think the way I think and be like, damn, has anybody ever, I think about folks like this right here, man. So it's the reason why P came tonight. It's the reason why the GOAT Floyd is here tonight. It's the reason why the legend Scottie Pippen is here. Dennis Quaid is here. It's the reason why Tip is here. Joe Secor is here. You're here. It's because you guys all are motivation. And I wanted to bring you up here tonight, man. Just say, I know, you know what? You just stay there for a minute, man. Stay there for a minute, man. Bringing P up here, man, because I know what you're doing, but you here, man. So you gotta shine your light. Look at that. You didn't come with that sweater to support. You came to show that sweater off, man. Know what you doing, man? Know what you doing, P? Anyways, but I want to just say this because at the end of the day, man, we're getting ready to be doing something really special with this man right here. I was blessed enough to meet him and to be able to work with him in telling his life story, which is gonna be coming soon. I can't tell you guys the network yet, but we're closing the deal. But I'm gonna tell you something, when you see this show and when you understand where this man came from, it ain't gonna be no question what you going through. You're gonna be like, damn, he did that. I better get on by what I'm doing. Like, if he did it, you absolutely could do it, man. So I just want to tell you tonight, I love you, brother, and thank you so much, man. Thank you, brother. How about a round for P, man? Thank you, P. Don't sneak out of here either, man. I'm keeping my eye on you, man. All right, so I'm gonna give it to Roxanne, where are you? Okay, y'all know I love her. Y'all know that's the machine right there, man. I'm not gonna bring her up because she'd be like, why you do that? But Roxanne right there, man, the engine. So tonight, this is gonna be really special. I'm gonna hand this to Van, my brother, man, and we're gonna get into it. But what I wanted this night to be, and Damon actually orchestrated this, what I thought was really cool. When we got ready to make this movie, it was done in a very, very fearful environment. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man, there was some moments where even me being the risk taker that I am, I was very nervous because there were other people's lives that were being depended on by me and Roxanne, where we had to make sure we was filming this movie that we didn't mess up. And what I'm explaining to you guys is we filmed this. This was the first movie historically ever to be shot during the global pandemic. So when I say that to you guys, I want you to understand, because everybody cool now. You're like, oh, this shit ain't doing nothing. When we did this, it was at the moment, just gonna blow y'all mind, when Trump was going up on the podium, you'd be like, man, I hope this man got some good news. I don't care who you thought he was or what you rooted for him. I was like, then please, man, please, God, let this man say he has something that could help us. And we were in a state of fear. And during that same exact time that we was in a state of fear, literally about 60 days into that, we opened up our phones and we seen a man's neck get kneeled on for 11 minutes. So now you had a choice to either be fearful of an airborne disease, or are you gonna go out and march and fight for justice and say it was just a fearful moment. And at that time, I told Roxanne, you think we can make a movie? And she was like, you lost your damn mind. And I said, well, how could we do it? What do we need to do? I said, we up here in their Tahoe, it's not that many cases. I'm making all these excuses like how we gonna make a movie. And I literally made her say we could do it. And after that, I had no script and I started picking up phones and calling actors. Joe was one of my first calls. Where's Joe at? Wherever he's at. Joseph Core is my first call. Joseph Core got into a car in New York with a cat and his wife and drove from New York to me with no script, with me just pitching him the idea of what this film was. From that point on, everybody I called, if you said, man, I'm coming, you was in. If you said, man, let me think about it, I went to the next person because it was just in me. And I was like, there's no way in the world we cannot not do this, not right now. And anyway, so we're here tonight because after making the movie, I called Van a couple weeks ago and I said, man, if you really just think about fear, if you really just be honest with yourself, be honest with yourself. If you really think about how scared you are to do certain things, scared to say something, scared to quit that job, scared to take a chance, scared to take your money and invest it in this, scared of taking that money and starting a business, scared of telling someone how you really feel, scared of the relationship, scared to start it, scared to end it. Right? Is what down here? Is okay? All right. I'm a director. I'm just doing this. Okay. The idea behind it is we live in fear. All of us. And this is not a promotion for the film. This is not any of that. This is just, tonight was just a night to talk about fear. And what do certain people do to fight it, overcome it, and not allow it to manifest and kill them physically or metaphysically. Period. And Van was the perfect person because we've all went through things, we've all been scraped, scarred, pushed. Everybody in here has been bruised and beat up, and I ain't doing that shit again. So I said, I want to get a panel of people that have been through it, fought through it, went through adversity, and let's talk it out. And then let's turn the cameras around to y'all and ask some real questions and see tonight if we can motivate people to not be pigeonholed or held down by fear. That's the bottom line at the beginning of the year. So that's what we're doing tonight, and that's why y'all here. Y'all better not go no goddamn where it's finna go down. All right, I'm stopping. Thank you, brother.
Oh.
Get to the intros? Okay. But let me say something. Where's... Yeah, y'all, come on, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Where the goat at? Where is the goat at? Where is that? Man, please bring the champ up here, man. Bring the champ. Round of applause, please. Round of applause, please. For my... Let me, come on. I know you used to this, man, but you gonna get it tonight. This was, in doing this, two people was my first phone call. Floyd, Scottie Pippen. And the reason being was because once you've seen him do what he's been doing for his career, and you understand the mental fortitude, the energy, the effort, this is the greatest of all time, period. So now, when you think about fear, understand, you know what it might have felt like to be 47 and old? like this is it, but just to live life, man, and to do what this dude is doing. And then when I met him and sat down with him, I've made no qualms of telling people how I feel. I believe he's a better person than he is a fighter. So let me explain that to you, man, all right? So anyways, Floyd Mayweather, man, the legend, the icon. Thank you, brother. I got my jacket too. I'm finna put my shit on in 1 minute. And you went to that game tonight, man. I'm so sorry. Man. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the panel. Van, I'm gonna let you have that. Floyd, you already up here. You need no introduction. Can we grab a seat for Floyd? And then you bring everybody, and I'm gonna go over there and then you bring.
I'm gonna kind of give my brother a chance to sit down. Look,
Sure you don't need another introduction?
No, this is great.
You
Look
good?
at this.
You good?
We did it. God damn it. All right.
So look, we're just gonna have a conversation, and we're gonna have a rare conversation. First of all, we're having it in the context of Dion and Roxanne, as usual, doing something groundbreaking, something extraordinary, breaking into the horror genre. And I asked somebody, I said, why is it that we're just now, as black people, breaking into this genre? And the answer I got back from one of my cousins was, because being black is scary enough as it is. Being black, just being black, is scary enough as it is. And I want to start with that. That's where I want to start. Because so much of our culture is about courage. It's about bravado. It's about going up against the odds. It's about Dr. King's courage. It's about Fannie Lou Hamer's courage. It's about Tupac's courage. It's always about the courage. But we never talk about the fact that we're forced to be courageous because there's so much to fear. We're forced to be courageous because as black people, there is so much to fear. And you get to a point in your life where you stop just overriding fear. I'm gonna do it anyway. At a certain point, that only gets you so far. And you begin to sit down and you have to literally confront your fear. And it's a different level. You know, grandparents are people who have confronted their fears. It's a different level of wisdom. And so we have a panel of people who are almost solely associated with courage. I mean, you guys are literally, your brand is courage. You think about a Scottie Pippen, 6-time NBA champion, 6 times, 7 times. Going up against the Detroit Pistons.
Come on, Pimp!
Going up against when they could just hit you in the face. Put a elbow in your eye socket, you know, and to come out the winner 6 times. We see that as courage. You, 50-0. Floyd, 50 and 0. And every one of those fights, it didn't have to go that way, but you had the courage. You think about Roxanne, you think about Dion coming to this town, which has locked out black people forever, knocked down black people forever, taking advantage of black people forever, and to be winning on their own terms. That's courage. And now, in the age where celebrity itself is so perilous, for Ruby to be coming up as a celebrity, not just on the screen, but in song and everything else, she's gonna be next in a time when being celebrities is scary as F. And so here she is. So we all know about your courage. Your name brand is courage. We wanna hear about your fears. We wanna hear about your fears. And so I think I wanna start with you.
Good call.
What was Scottie Pippen afraid of in the beginning?
Wow. Well, first of all, I grew up as the youngest of 12 kids in a small town in Arkansas. Wow. Sharing beds with some of my siblings and things growing up. But as a young kid, I saw my brother be paralyzed. And he's still living today, but he's been paralyzed now for, I guess, 50 plus years. But later on, a few years of that, I witnessed my father have a stroke. So those were some of the fears that I was afraid of, I think, going through my life, was losing what I felt that I could gain. In sports, you do fear injuries. As an athlete, you go out, you give your best. You saw the athlete just a week ago who, you know, it's just a freak accident, but that's how my brother got paralyzed.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about what you saw? 2 people that you loved the most in life, before we knew who you were, you had seen them go through something that would terrify pretty much anybody. What happened to your brother? What happened to your father?
Yeah. Well, my brother was, at the time, I think wrestling was something that was very popular. So he was laying on the gym floor one day, and one of his classmates, who liked him or not, I don't even know. I was 3 years old. So, but anyway, the kid fell on his back, and my brother laid there, and they thought he was playing, but he was paralyzed, and he was going through a situation where, you know, they had never seen him before. They were all young kids. He was 12, 13 years old. So it debilitated him for the rest of his life. You know,
just a freak childhood accident.
Yeah.
Kids playing around, and he never gets to play again.
Right. And, you know, he's one of my older brothers. He's 10 years older than me. And, you know, he still have a productive life today, if you can call that, being paralyzed from the neck down. But, you know, it's life. It's better than death. But I think one of the things that really was something that I keep in my heart is what the doctor told my mom, is that he's gonna die. Wow. You know, and as you said about black people, there was always fears. So my mom felt like that they wanted to do research on my brother. They didn't want to rehabilitate him. And at that time, I don't think therapy was even at the top of the table or anything. But my brother was paralyzed, and we brought him home, and thank God we had a huge family. We didn't know anything about physical therapy, but we knew how to give him love. And That's what's kept him alive.
Man,
Beautiful, beautiful.
man. Wow.
Well, I want to come back to that because on the other side of fear is love. But you beat me to the whole damn punch. The panel's over. But we're gonna stick with the fears. You know, again, Floyd. I mean, when people nowadays say the champ, they don't even say your name. I mean, literally, they don't even say your name. There's too many syllables to your name. They just say the champ, and everybody knows who they're talking about. But I imagine that when you first started out, you had some fears too.
I don't really want to say. I don't really want to say fears. It's more like, you know, I was a young kid, and I had a father who just my father. I don't really want to say it was a fear. Just my dad. I never want to let my father down, because my dad done so much for me. When I say he bent over backwards, I mean, no matter what my dad did, when he went out and hustled every day in the streets, every day he made sure, you know, I got to the gym. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in this position, just period. So, you know, I never want to let my father down, no matter what. So even when me, at a particular time, in my career, when me and my dad wasn't seeing eye to eye, and a lot of times people didn't know why me and my dad wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye because when my dad went to prison, it was 16 when my dad went to prison. So then eventually I went to the Olympic Games at 19 by myself, you know, without a trainer, from everything that he taught me.
Wow.
Yeah, so when he came back into my life, I was 21, and I already had my own house, my own, you know, my own vehicles, just I had my own lifestyle because I became a man in those 5 years. And eventually we went our separate ways when I was a professional fighter. And just all throughout my whole life, I never wanted to let my father down.
But you know, that's tough. So you're 16.
Yes.
Your job is to go and risk getting your butt kicked, and your dad, who's been there for you, who's been mentoring, all of a sudden he's gone.
Well, I don't really want to say. I don't really want to say, because the first thing my dad taught me was, he said, the less you get hit, the longer you're gonna last in this sport. So that's the first thing he taught me. Just
Ooh, I hope y'all getting this. Hope y'all getting this.
Repeat that.
just in business, just in life, period. The less you get hit, the longer you last. That's whether you're making investments, you always want to be smart. So
he had equipped you.
From the beginning,
he had equipped you.
because he wanted me to keep all my faculties, so that when my career was over, I was able to make smart investments, so I'll still have something. So I gotta give it thanks to my dad.
Listen, I think all of us have kids. I don't know any of us who would be confident that if at 16 we had to walk away, that our kids would be ready.
Yes.
And so your dad did something extraordinary. Number one. Number two, I mean, yeah, give it up to the dad.
Wow.
But there must have been a moment
No, go ahead.
there must have been a moment as a 16-year-old when you realized that you were going to have to do it based on what he had given you. That couldn't have been a happy feeling. You have the confidence now. Were you 1,000% confident then, or did you have a moment of doubt?
I mean, we never, because we go into every situation always with a positive attitude. We gonna win no matter what. You know, every day we go out the door, just us as blacks. You know, myself. I'm black. I'm outspoken. I'm wealthy. So those are the 3 strikes against me every day. But I don't let nothing stop me from just from my, you know, from being hungry to drive and be better, help my family, and constantly building generational wealth. I just feel like when I go out the door every day, I go out with a positive attitude, because all of us, we all got a choice and we all got a chance. So I don't worry about nothing. Let's go out there and just be the best that I can be.
Well, and you do it, and you do it. So let's give a round of applause. You're one of the most extraordinary people
I was just gonna say, should we stop after them 2 stories? That God, dog.
Yeah,
Man, we could just walk. Us 3 could walk away. God, I'm over here blown away.
Yeah.
I'm serious because as a fan, you know, I mean, we're talking about fear, but just to hear the 2 of the most dynamic human beings, you know, speak to fear. And I've been following Scottie like everybody else in this room forever, and just to not even know that story. You know what I mean? And to understand he came from the same place that we all came from, and to hear, well, I know Floyd's life, but this is why I told you guys he is that dynamic, because you're absolutely right. First of all, there's not a lot of fathers in our lives as black men, but at the same time, to have a father that is that dynamic, to instill that type of courage and energy and wherewithal into you at 16 and be gone, and then know your son got enough fight in him, strength in him, mental stability in him to become this.
Crazy.
It's-
To go to the Olympics
Yeah, or by itself.
by itself.
That's extraordinary, man. And that is overcoming fear, because so many of us would be scared just to lead a country. Wow.
Yeah. Look, we've heard from the lesser half of this dynamic duo. But as much as we see Dion doing what he does, everybody knows without you, Roxanne, he would be babbling on a street corner someplace.
Hee-haw.
Appreciate that.
But you know, not only are you African American, you're African American and female in a town where those are tough cards to draw.
I mean, why do we constantly call each other African Americans? When we go out there and go on the front line and fight the war, we're Americans. When we go in the Olympic Games, we're Americans. But now when we come home, we're African Americans. You know, I don't understand. We're Americans. We built this land.
Preach.
Absolutely.
We could be Black Americans, but we're Americans. We built this land.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of times we saying we African Americans. A lot of us in this country don't know nothing about Africa. Wow. So I mean, I've never seen none of us compete against. You know, when the Europeans come to America, we don't call them European Americans.
And so,
Hope y'all catching these gems being dropped. Hope they're catching them.
what do you say? That's awesome. So, well, look, I mean,
And just whenever they want to separate us.
yeah,
When we commit a crime, we're African American.
yeah.
When they want to separate, but when we do something good and
When you go to the Olympics, you're an American.
we're an American. Because when we get that medal, we're an American.
Yeah.
So there's a difference.
That's good. And now listen,
You can't call me. I can't be this one day to be something the next day.
Yeah.
Only when it's beneficial to you. That's when I'm an American.
And are you a black fighter or are you the GOAT? Right? Are they saying, oh, he a black GOAT? The greatest of all time. Right?
Now,
No matter what color the goat is, just call me a goat.
so I'm gonna go to you, Roxanne, because you know, champions think differently. Legends think differently. Icons think differently. And you can just hear it. Like most people, my dad had a stroke. My brother was paralyzed. Their response wouldn't be, I'm going to go into the most brutal league, and prevail. Like again against the Detroit Pistons when they was just beating y'all up. And you did that. Champions think differently. And Roxanne, you're a champion.
Thank you.
And we love you, we respect you, we admire you, we learn from you, we need you. And it can't be easy. So what are your greatest fears?
I'm supposed to do this now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, listen, I have so many fears. You know what I mean? Briefly to speak about, obviously being a black woman, that goes without being said. You know what I mean? We're born into this. We don't get to choose this life, right? every day we walk out the door, we're already judged. We're already under a microscope. We don't have the same positions. We don't have the same boxes. It never works for us, right? As I went through life and many struggles as an adolescent, I had to become fearless, right? Because of all of the struggles and having to survive through all of those things. And my dad was a very intricate part of my life as well, as far as trying to make me understand, like to bet on yourself and believe in yourself, right? And you have to walk with integrity, walk with confidence, because when you walk in the room, everything that you embody is how they're gonna treat you, right? I never thought I would be here, but now being a wife, a mother, a first-generation business owner, right? Self-taught, didn't go to school for any of this. My overcoming the struggle is real, and having that success is very humbling, and I'm very grateful. But now it's the balance of failing, right?
Wait.
Failing as a mother, as a wife, being in this business and being under this microscope, right? Everything that I do is being counted and watched. It's not about all the things I've accomplished. It's about all the things I'm doing wrong, right? And so that balance of transitioning to success and the sacrifices that go along with it is very, very hard. And I have to continuously remind myself what I'm doing it for, which is breaking the cycle by being the first generation, right? Showing my kids how they need to live and be. But I'm not there for them always, right? So there's all these balances and fears and failure and sacrificing my day-to-day, trying to climb through this and analyze my day-to-day decisions and movement just within myself. I'm constantly fighting that, constantly.
You know, there's a lot of women here, and they're going through it as well. And I wonder, as you're kind of the one we're looking at. By the way, just so you know, we're looking at you for what you're doing right. We're looking at you for what you're getting right.
Female goat.
We love
light-skinned goat.
Yeah.
I gotta be light-skinned. Why can't I just be the goat?
Red bone goat.
But we understand what you're saying.
No, I mean, it's funny because just to speak to that real quick, I had a conversation with another high-profile colleague producer in the room, and I'm always labeled as the black producer. Oh, you're the hottest independent black producer. Why can't I just be the producer? Mm-hmm. Why I gotta be independent? Why I gotta be black? Why can't I just be, she's the hottest producer or one of the hottest producers? Mm-hmm. Because of my work speaking for itself, not my skin, right?
We changing that tonight.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Going. That label off, man. That's it.
Well, we'll come back around, but we just marvel at you. I just want you to know that. Like, we just marvel at you, and you give us a lot of confidence. The way that you are, the way that you treat people, your strength, the way that you don't back down in terms of letting any of us get screwed over, but I think it's important for the other sisters here to hear. You worry about being a mom. You worry about being a wife. You worry about, what am I sacrificing?
Yes.
If I get here, but my kids fall off here,
yes,
was it worth it?
Yes.
And so all that is present for the sisters who are here and also for you. So I just appreciate you. Give her a round of applause. We just love this. We wouldn't be here without her. We would not be here without Roxanne. Yeah. So we got the youngest rising star. By the way, this is not your first scary film. You did a slasher film too, actually. Happy Death Day. Give a round of applause for those.
Killed that. Killed that.
it.
Killed it.
Yeah, killed it. So
So you see fear.
yeah. So that was just warming up for Fear.
Yeah.
First of all, why are you doing so many scary movies? Before we get to your fears, why are you trying to scare us?
I'm doing scary movies to face my fears. Yeah, and each one, thank you. Each film that I do, I'm facing something new that I don't think that I'm going to be able to accomplish because of the doubts that I have or the what ifs that I'm facing. And I'm blessed. I come from a wonderful family, and my father is a great actor. And when I chose to be an actor, that was something that I faced. How are you going to live up to your dad? How are you going to do this? What are you going to do? You're going to be in his shadow for the rest of your career. And that's not true, because I have always been on the side of my father. He's always shared his light with me. So, like you, I have so many fears. But, yeah. It's, yes. No, you.
I'm so curious because you represent this kind of new generation in Hollywood. And I imagine the fears might be the same as any actor coming up, but there may be some different fears in terms of social media. Like there's so much more is on display. And you're not just an actor, you're also a singer. You got a whole band. I mean, you're such a multi. But when you wake up in the morning, do you feel like this multi rising star, or how do you feel?
Scared. I don't want to fall on my face. I feel encouragement and the faith that I have in myself and the faith that I have for the people that are around me that have trust in me, that guides me. And again, the faith that I have in myself and in my abilities.
So with the other young folks who are here who are coming up, they may feel like they're imposters because they don't feel encouraged all the time. They don't feel confident all the time. I know you don't feel confident all the time. Talk a little. We're going to get to the good part, but just talk a little bit about what you wrestle with on a daily basis. What fears come up for you when it's time for you to apply for the next opportunity, or you're standing on the stage, you're about to go out and do the song one more time. Just talk about that part a little bit so people can. We need to level set that all of us have these fears.
I think it's the what ifs. You put in so much work and you want to do your best and you practice, and I always say to learn is to love. You always want to be learning all the time. And you're so ready, and then you get there. Like here, I'm so afraid. I'm facing a fear right now by being here.
Yeah, we talked about that together.
Yeah. You gotta get up here? But it really is the what ifs. What if the work that I put in doesn't show? What if? Because I don't want to let anybody down, including myself, first and foremost, you know? So I think it's really about the what ifs and understanding that we're all afraid all the time.
Why are you scared to be up here?
I'm amongst legends. What? I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, man.
I just wanted to hear it. I'm nervous too. This is Scottie Pippen. So.
No, you're on TV more than me.
And he took a picture with my son. We could have left then. Luckily, Dion didn't let me go. So, let me get to you, Dion, and then we'll maybe get to some of the audience questions.
But you know what, too? I would love for Ruby to talk about her mom, because I think we have similarities and it runs parallel by being mixed and coming from white and black. Even though my mother's white and my father's black, I'm black, right? And you have a similar situation, and I think people should hear about that.
My perspective on that is different, obviously. You know, growing up with my mom, it was different. You know, she's Black and Puerto Rican, and she was often accused of being my brother and I's nanny. Where is the mother? I want to see where the mother is. And it was really interesting because my mom had a discussion with me about. My mother had a discussion with me about the fact that when Bowman and I were born, she was so relieved that we were light-skinned because of what she experienced in her lifetime, which I've only experienced through her eyes and her stories. So, yes, thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate that.
I just want to remind everybody, so this young lady is phenomenal. And I had watched a few movies that Ruby was in, and then I eventually went to the movies one time and seen Happy Death Day. And I was like, who is this girl? And I went crazy trying to get her. We was getting ready to make this movie Fierce. So I was calling around trying to figure, because I always try to go around people and just get a phone number. Because no one will let me talk to people. So I'm like, you got this girl number?
True.
And I had no idea that this was Matthew Modine's daughter. And Full Metal Jacket is arguably one of the greatest movies ever made to me.
Not arguably, one of them.
And Matthew Modine, let me see your war face. I'm watching this girl, I'm like, oh, now I get it. You know what I mean? But to meet her and understand that she's her own person, that is rare in this town. And I know a lot of people that come from a very high stature that have a father or a sibling or somebody that's incredibly great, they always get cast in that shadow. You know what I mean? But it's great, man, to see people now breaking through, like Scottie's son, like he's his own man. You know, the things that Floyd's doing with his family, his kids, like to see people building their own worlds is so unique to me. It's so dope, but it also shows that these are people that actually understand life. And they're not consumed by themselves. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you become a parent, a father, or a mother, that's the end of you. Like your job right now is to do for them and to show them and guide them, kind of like what Floyd just said, you know, which is phenomenal to me. You know, anyways, I just wanted to say that about you because she is, and in this movie, boy, when I tell you, first of all, y'all have no idea what this shit finna be. This is crazy, this movie. Y'all gonna see the trailer tonight, but she is phenomenal in it, along with the entire cast.
Thank you, Dean.
We're gonna get to the trailer, but you're not off the hook, Dion.
I tried to.
Right.
Nah, I saw that little move. He was like, trailer. No. You know, I love your courage, your fighting spirit, your spark. I love the way that you stick up for other people when they're down. When Will Smith was down, you picked him back up. And by the way, give him a round of applause for that. People run away from folks when they make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's when you make a mistake that you need love and grace and community, and you provide that for Will Smith. You provide that for me at times, but nobody has that kind of heart for somebody who's hurting. They have not hurt themselves. So, what are your fears?
I'm fearless. I deal with. I'm fearless, man. I'm not. The fears that normally attack me, because I am attacked often with fears. Something happens that just clicks into me, and I'll be like, "Man, beat this shit." And I think it comes from.
But wait! Stop. I know you. I know how fast your mind moves. You're gonna go right to the inspiring part.
I'm not.
But I want to know when you said the fears attack me. Just take us to some of those moments.
Oh man, I'm always faced with them. Like what? Well, I mean, it happens.
The question is.
I'm gonna tell. I mean, but let me explain to you like my life a little bit. Somewhat, I'm a light spirit, so I always try to push that into people and pull people into light. So what often happens is when you're that type of person, you're always living on the edge of trying to do something that could make you fall on your face. For instance, I asked the greatest fighter of all time, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, 8 days ago to join me in this. They could have been like, maybe you'll get your ass. I live like that, but my life is always like that. So that is just a little bit of it. But when I say fear, man, like what's always kind of chasing me a lot is a lot what Roxanne just said, and probably what Scottie has been dealing with and Floyd has dealt with, which is a little bit of is failure. And failure not like in front of people, but failure for what you've built that you don't want to lose it. Because ultimately what happens is every day you wake up, and when you are first generation anything, these are all first generation winners. Everybody up here. She's doing her own life, her own thing. She's the first to do it that way. Scottie, 12 people. Floyd, on his own to become what he's become. Roxanne, out of the projects to become what she is. Me, I'm first generation. We didn't have shit. My family's in here. Some of them over there. Ephraim, where you at? Put your hand up. We didn't have shit. So I tell you when we talk about failure, I'm talking about a world where I lived in the projects and slept on the floor, and I know what it is to have a roach in your TV. So at the end of the day, when you build out of that and you continuously fight, and then you start finding energy and you start beginning to get yourself going, and then you make a name, and then you come to a city like this where everything is absolutely a no, and people really are not real, and people really are lying to you, and people really are trying to hurt you, and people really are up at night trying to figure out how to destroy you. This is real, and you are not that type of person. You live in fear because you always know there's something on the other side that you will have to run into or go through. And you just hope that as you're doing your fight for good, for energy, building your company, doing what you do the best, you just hope that they don't have a lucky day and hurt you and destroy what you've built. So I am constantly, the more we climb, the more we pull, the more we push, the more we make. We've made 17 movies independently by ourselves.
Damn.
Every film has been theatrical. Every one we financed, every one we done been on the ground. She done had to pull me off the field with the movie. Everything we've done. So then when we finish these films and we go out here and then you see people act like we ain't do it, that's tough. When you see people look at Floyd and don't understand he's the GOAT or act like he not, that's tough. Scottie Pippen, that's tough. Arguably, I'm telling you real shit right now. There's no question who these people are. So we have to understand that on the other side of this, there is a fear that we all have, which is the fear of failure, meaning that you've built something for your son, your daughter, your mother. People depend on me. My mom is 78 years old and has dementia. She don't know it, but she depends on me, period. Because I depended on her by herself for my whole life. So every day we pay that bill, we had that full-time people around her. She don't understand, but I know I cannot fail her. I cannot fail Aiden or Noah or Roxanne or Milan. I cannot fail none of them. So we go hard and we watch. So my fear comes from a place of, don't let them get you, D. Don't let them get you. So we're never comfortable. We're always watching. We're always looking. We're always paying attention. Because the devil comes in disguise of something that you love. Period.
Jam.
We need to show the trailer. I mean, I don't. No, that's not fair. That's not fair to none of the rest of us, dude.
No, but Van, seriously, first of all, before we just wrap, I didn't expect this in a million years for the words that we just heard. Floyd, I want to tell you, thank you, man. I love you, brother, for real. And Scottie, thank you. Like, this doesn't happen, just so y'all know.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Straight up, man. I don't know where y'all been. This don't happen, man. And these guys are here because they want to be here. They drove over here and came here. Ain't no billboard back here with no studio paying. These guys drove over here because they was like, yo, I'm finna come. This is like.
I got here by boat.
But before we, I didn't want to, Damon, I didn't want to make it like a trailer. I think y'all see this. It's crazy. Let
me say this really quickly, though.
Yeah.
Because I think for everybody in here, like, it's not about what your fear is and one's more bigger than the other or whatever that is, right? Fear is fear, right? Whatever level it is that you have and that you're being faced with. So it's about overcoming your fear.
That's it.
And not letting it consume you, right?
It is.
It's not, oh, your fear is better than mine or whatever, right? So I just want to make sure that's...
Damn, that's a really good fear you got.
Because...
like that.
Anything you're fearful of, get through it, go through it. You're just going through it. You will get through it, right? It will pass. One day at a time is all you need, right? Believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and you will get through it.
Absolutely. Let me just ask a question though. Why did Scottie Pippen, why did you come? Because, I mean, you know, the level of respect that Deion has for you and for you, champ, is unreal. I mean, I know this guy. He's not making this up. And so it takes some courage for him to ask, but why did you say yes?
Well, I think we both actually met a few weeks ago, well, right before the holidays, but we just hit it off great. And, you know, we're talking about doing a doc ourselves, but the energy that I feel for that young man, it's great talking to him on the phone, texting. We've grown to be very close very fast. So, you know, once he asked me to come on, done. But thank to my boy Key Raj, who's also introduced me to
wherever you at, man.
So he's in the house as well.
Hey, look, you think about that. A lot of times we are shy. You have some gift, you have something you want to do. Maybe you would want to do a documentary about Scottie. But when he walks by, you just shake his hand. And we don't speak into existence the dreams that we have. Deion is showing you a different way. This is one of his biggest idols. He didn't flinch, reached out and created that relationship. And as a result, he's here. And look, he ain't sad to be here. He's happy to be here. So when we share our passion, when we share our love, when we get outside of our own fears, we're making other people better, making their lives greater. I guarantee you, if these two hook up, people will understand stuff about Scottie Pippen that's never been understood before. So again, I wanted to ask him why he came. The love. The courage. Why'd you say yes, champ?
Me and Deion is working on a project, you know, crazy project. So I'm gonna kind of let Deion enlighten everybody on the project that we're working on. I mean, a lot of times you see, you hear certain things, you know, about me, of course. You're gonna always hear the negative things. So we always gotta have somebody we gotta point the finger at, you know. I talked about this before. Whereas the Puerto Ricans support Puerto Ricans. Dominicans support Dominicans. The Filipinos support one another. And the Chinese support the Chinese. But the blacks, we tear each other down. So when I had a chance, you know, for over 20 years, everyone's been trying to I got behind the scenes footage of my life for 27 years. I got footage from all behind the scenes that nobody has seen. So I want to be able to tell my story and just not about the fighter, about the man, about the human, about my dad, about my mother, you know. It's something that nobody, you always see my dad, you always see my family, but you guys never see my mother. So on this court, you know, I'm ready to tell my story. And I don't want to just tell, I want to show the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right. Because
there's ups and downs. It's roller coasters, it's a roller coaster ride in everybody's life. But that's what made me. You know, a strong woman, strong black woman. Because there's nothing in the world better than a black woman, period.
You said, you better preach.
You say it
You
again,
better
Floyd.
preach.
You know, a lot of times, so, you know, I just want my story to be told, and I want my story to be told from all walks of life. Meaning that when we shoot the way we shoot in this doc, we want to go get the disgruntled employees. Tell the story.
Wow.
We want to go get everybody.
Tell the whole truth.
I want to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and of course, Dion is also from the Midwest. So, and I'm from the Midwest. So we're not that. Well, he's from Gary, Indiana, right? So I think we're two and a half hours away. So I want to be able to. I want the world to really know the truth.
Yeah.
Because you guys hear everything. Floyd is this and Floyd is that, but you're never gonna hear the truth.
Well,
The truth is, I come from nothing. 7 of us in a 1-bedroom, nothing. And we glorify us as blacks. We glorify the drug dealers, but we don't glorify a black man taking his child, teaching him a skill, and pushing them, putting him in a position to. He taught him a skill, put him in a position to be a champion, but also I learned certain things. You know, I learned how to become my own boss. I learned I'm the only fighter that owns his masters. You got 50 fights, I own 50 fights. I own myself. So when I was in, and you know, I got friends from all walks of life, but there's not many athletes, you know, that bought himself out his contract and became his own boss. So once I became my own boss, then you're gonna hear so many negative things. Because now, you know, when the arena field, you know, I'm keeping 100% of the revenue. This has never been done. You know, you've never seen an athlete scalp his own tickets. see, we laugh about that, but you know, I always say this, and I want you guys to go on my social media page when I say this. I will always have the last laugh. I was born at night, but not last night. There's a difference between an education in school and being intelligent. You gotta know the difference. You know, life is a game of chess, and I'm the best at it. That's the reason why when you see these different fighters, they can barely walk, they can barely talk. And there's a reason why I own 9 skyscrapers in New York City. Remember. So it's always chess with me. I will always have the last laugh. This is serious, meaning like this. You look at a guy like Scottie Pippen, right? Hell of a player. You know, remember Michael Jordan wouldn't have the rings if it wasn't for Scottie Pippen.
100%. Never got one without him. Never got one ring without him.
So you got meaning like this. You go to the basketball arena. You go to the basketball arena. So I go in there. The arena is filled. Most of the people are white. The majority of the coaches is white. You look. Most of the owners are white. Most of the staff is white. But then 80% of the players are black. And then we got, it's really like 73, but 2021 it probably was 73, but now we at 80%, go like 16%, then like 4% Spanish or other, I should say. There's a difference. The player get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Well, every time my fight is played, I'm gonna get paid. So every time when somebody buy pay-per-view, I set my own price. So I'm my own boss. I learned that just by, you know, not just doing my homework inside the ring, but when I come home, constantly doing my homework. So Dion understand, like, I want to tell my story through my people. So that's why I chose Dion.
Look, I know I know we're running a little bit over. I do want to show the.
Why?
Yeah, we got.
We all
Okay, good.
boss up in here.
We on ball.
But I wanted to just add that everybody just in here right now, man, this is dope. Yeah. But do you guys hear the intelligence of that man that just spoke?
Chess.
What was crazy to me, I had never met Floyd. I met Floyd a long time ago, and then we met again somewhere else. And we got in a room here, I think. Floyd came by here. It was supposed to be like a quick, Floyd on the move. He gonna come by. We like, oh, everybody get ready. Floyd coming. And we sat in the back for damn near the whole day. And I remember when he left, I kind of was just sitting there for a minute, and I was like, this dude just moved my whole chakra. Like, I just was like, this energy around me, like, there's nothing in the world that I would do to jeopardize a story like that. Ever. Because so many times our stories are given to who they deem the person to do, and we don't get the real story. And I don't want to get into names, but
Just tell me the names when we talk one-on-one.
Yeah. But this is iconic. And I know there's a few studios in here tonight. My man Lorenzo's in here. I think MGM's in here. Hulu's in here. I think Universal's in here. I invited people tonight because I wanted them to just feel this energy. And I wanted them to understand, like, this is 2023 represents something brand new that you've never seen before. We're living in the future right now, period. We create, we build, we make, we distribute, we work well with others, we hug, we love, we fight together. And that's why I went back to what you just said, Van. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Will or Tyrese or you or Roxanne or I don't care if I'm around you and I feel it, I'm in. And I'll let God do the rest, man. So at the end of the day, I want to just tell everybody thank you so much, man. And this was incredible, man. Thank you, Floyd. Man.
So
God damn, man. Like, I'm for real, man. Get your ass out of this. Man, I'm like, man.
Undefeated in the ring, undefeated in the marketplace.
Black GOAT.
It's not that. When I was telling them about, when I was just talking about the scalping of the tickets, right? We got to think about this. Now, if I scalp my tickets for 4 fights, right? Just when I was just active. Just saying, I was just talking to Scottie about that. You know, we laugh, but then you say, oh, he scalped for 4 fights, but he made between 60 and 80 million. So, and then you can take that and make sure you invest that, and that becomes a crazy number. So, a lot of times we got to look at the bigger picture. When I speak, a lot of times people just think, oh, he's just another fighter, or like I said, a lot of times we go by, you know, what social media say or what somebody said on social media. Y'all gotta be smart. I mean, y'all want everybody in this room to really be smart. You know, you hear so many different things, but you gotta say, how the fuck can he survive for 27 years living like this? Now, when Scottie was playing, you know, I was competing. I was a professional when Scottie was playing. When LeBron James was a kid, I was a professional. His career almost over, and I'm still competing. My philosophy is never stop getting it.
Wow. Scottie!
Look, I want to make sure that people get a sneak preview of this film.
No. I saw the angels standing around, slowly gray.
You guys have no idea what a great weekend we have ahead of us.
This place is perfect.
We came here for a show, man.
no light to mirror.
So before this weekend's over, it better be fireworks. You understand me?
No detail to mirror.
You like it?
It's playing backwards.
I'll meditate him.
Fuck are you talking about?
I'll meditate him.
Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
I think it's over.
I saw the angel